Okay, I've done some more things. It's now green's turn again. I will tell you more about what yellow player did, but first let's start with green. Move the cube. So green managed to launch a rocket with their quite expensive 5 fuel consumption, but divided by in half, and took a refinery and Robonaut to this Hellas Basin buried glaciers site and industrialized. Now that cost 2. I didn't roll for that. I paid 2 5 nanos, which brings green down to only 2 aquas now. So now the question is what they should do. I could start ET producing some cards here, including this solar sail, and then use the solar sail could not use the thrusters to go up from Mars, because then you need a thrust of at least 11. But I can use this acetylene rocket launch when you have a factory, and then you pay twice the amount of wet mass of the rocket. I do have a minor colonist on Mars, so this one allows me to do site refuel 2 times. So when I do site refuel, I can do an extra for free. So I can get 17 aqua 17 fuel tanks pretty easily here this site. Another thing that I've been thinking about is to try to anchor the Bernal in low Mars orbit, because then I can promote it, and then it gets +2 per dirt side for the Bernal. So if I also industrialize the other side here, that's quite a lot of points. And I kind of want to do that sooner or later, because when war breaks out, I can build an ET Bernal, extraterrestrial Bernal, because green is on the independent block. So that would be a very good site for that, and it would count as the home Bernal. But right now, if I unanchor the Bernal, since we're not in anarchy or war, then if I anchor it here in low Mars orbit, yeah, it will probably not. It won't count as my home Bernal, so it will lose the 1 aqua per turn. Actually, that reminds me, I should start by taking 1 aqua for green. If they were to industrialize also Asiamon's caves, then it's pretty likely that war will break out, because we have 3 discs in the political display. So 3 of these seniority discs, and when you industrialize, you roll 1d6, add the number of discs in the political display, and then if that number is above the industrialization number, so if they would go down here, you would roll a die and add 3, and if that is more than 5, then the war will break out. So I think I will anticipate that and gather some supplies. So I think I will ET produce this turn. I will ET produce the thruster on Mars, and then I will ET produce some generators that are also C, and then I will use site refuel here to push these things up in orbit, and then go to the Bernal, give them the generator, sell 1 black card to get 8 aqua at this point. And I think that's the plan. Yeah, I think I will do that. The other option would be to unanchor the Bernal directly and just boost one of these generators. But then I will need to spend everything I got, and I lose the home Bernal ability for now. So I think I will just wait with that until war breaks out. So yeah, I think, yeah, start with ET produce this one, and now it's yellow's turn. So yellow got a claim on the colony and a factory at Achilles. And they have been each producing 3 cards, which they then brought back to Leo, and they have now sold 2 of those cards. The third card is this Robonaut, which has a dirt thruster. So that's very cheap fuel. And what I've done so far is to actually go home to Leo to sell the cards, and then this Robonaut and some other cards they're on their way to maybe claim this one. At least they will land here now, and as a free action they can refuel with tons of dirt. So just like refuel to maximum here, and then they can fly back to Leo and help drag the Bernal out. I will need to boost this plus a generator plus a radiator to be able to anchor it, and then I can just use the same rocket as the vehicle and load these cards as cargo. So for my turn, for my operation now, I think maybe it's best to try to claim that asteroid, because I have a 0 Robonaut with me that's operational. And yeah, let's do that. And oh, they don't have the home ability yet. In anticipation for war, I think they will do a fundraise. Place another chit here and move it into freedom, which means that if they can set the law of the freedom next turn, they might be able to flip this using the law, the rule diplomacy. And because they did the fundraise and this law is active, they get 3 aqua for that, because they now have 3 glory chits. Green's player again. Green's turn. I mean, and I think they will also just ET produce this turn, and then start flying. Yellow is gonna go 1. No, that's not a burn. 1, and then 2 for Cycler and back to Leo. So 2 burns. Radiation roll. 1. So they don't have any. They have a thrust of 3, so that should be perfectly fine for all of the cards. And then they need to spend lots of fuel. So 2 burns. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as an operation, they will boost. I mean, if we get a pad explosion next turn, that's 10 aqua. But I could use one of my delegates in the centrist to avoid or to get the aqua back, but I lose the. So I will boost the Bernal, the generator, and the radiator that it needs to decommission to anchor. So that's 14 mass. 14. And they have the Bernal up in orbit. Okay, time for green again. Time for an important event roll now. 2. That's inspiration. So I will flip through the decks. Okay, one interesting card that came up is a freighter that you can produce anywhere, and you can promote it at the seaside. This could be interesting for the green player. But of course, the green player has 4 cards in hand, so that they can't really bid right now. Let's do the site refuel here on Mars. So that's 7 because they have a factory, and then they can do a free 1 because they have a miner. So 14 fuel tanks on Mars. That's the operation. They could start flying right away. And I forgot to take my free aqua last turn and this turn, so 2 more aquas. Okay, so they will load up the solar sail, which now has 2 thrust initially, and then the 2 ET produced generators. This gives us a mass of 4 plus 1 net thrust, so we're now up to 3. I can use the power set to get up to 4. The faction ability power set in this case. And then this will put the green rocket here. And then I'll use a factory assist using acetylene rocket plane liftoff to ignore this burn and ignore the gravity restriction. You pay fuel tanks from the site equal to twice the mass, so that's 8 fuel tanks. So 8 of the 14 we just mined. I actually think I will bring 2 aqua on the rocket. That will bring the mass up to 2 steps, and then this will get the thrust down to 3, and now I have to pay 4 more of the fueled, because those fuel tanks can become money once we reach our Bernal. So we have 3 burns. This is free. So 1, 2, no, 1. I can make a free pivot here. 2, 3, and we're back at the Bernal. So we can unload the aqua or the fuel tanks to become aqua, and these cards go to the Bernal, and we can, since we have a home Bernal here, we can sell some of these black cards. One of them will be used to power the Bernal. We'll leave it there just in case for when we need to move. Okay, yellow player's turn. They will load these 14 pieces into their rocket at Leo, or 14 mass. I can leave the crew now, I guess. Do I need the crew for anything? I don't think we need it, so it will be 13 more mass. So when you move the mass up, you'll move along these red lines. So it will just go up to 18. I think this one, but when you move the fuel marker now, you need to move along the red lines, and not more than 13 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 burns. Exactly. So now next turn they could move out from Leo and anchor the Bernal. So we still have an operation we can do. And I think they will do a fundraise. They don't really have more cubes, but they're just going to move this cube here, which causes a vote tally. They will get 3 aqua, because the current law, when we started to do fundraise, I'll give them 3 aqua, because they have 3 glory chits, and we have probably a conservative directive active right now. And now I will move the active law to freedom, so you can sell 2 cards for 5 aquas instead of just 1 for 3. And this shifts the law here, and then yellow is allowed to flip this propaganda unless there is a extremist on it. And this rule is called diplomacy. So now the loyalists are in a good position to win the war if they want to. In addition, I think it's good to be able to sell cards to do the free market ops also during the war, and to be able to exomigrate freely. Okay, now we cross another seniority border, so yellow becomes first player and they will get a double turn. Yellow has all of their cubes here and 1 on Achilles, so they need to remove 1 of these cubes. And I think maybe they will just move a cube from here, actually. I think green will place their seniority disc here on Unity, +1 VP colony dome. I think that's what they're going for. Or maybe not, now that yellow has the cancer hospital. Yeah, I think they will just put it there. So yellow players mega stack. They have 5 base thrust -2 because they're up in tug, so they would have 3 in net thrust, which might be bad for the radiation roll that they're gonna make. I kind of want to place the Bernal here on this home Bernal anchoring point, this Earth Luna Lagrange. So that will be 1. Now what are the odds? If I roll, so I -3 because of the thrust. And there are a bunch of the radiators are rad hard 1 and 2. So if I roll a 6, they will both be decommissioned. If I roll a 5, one of them will be decommissioned, and it will be a pain actually. So maybe there is an event roll. Oh, next turn, what's the worst that can happen? They're not susceptible to pad explosion anymore. We could have anarchy breaking out, and then we're at the same spot as green's Bernal. Do they have a weapon? But the war will break out at the end of their turn, which means they can move there using the crew thruster. Yeah. Maybe they will just wait to anchor. They will just wait there. I realize I didn't bring the crew. So 5. So one of the radiators, the 1 red hard. So 5 -3 is 2. So this card gets decommissioned. Unfortunately, they still have a radiator, so it's fine. But the thruster will be kind of decommissioned afterwards. But that's as long as the Bernal, it can't immediately fly away. but I can boost that directly to the Bernal later. And then, so they go here. And now I think as an op, they will anchor the Bernal. So previously the Robonaut was the thruster using this reactor, which needs cooling, but now it will switch to cool this generator for anchoring. Sorry, so first during the thrust, the cooling was used to power the Robonaut. Now I will switch to cooling the Bernal to anchor it. These cards get decommissioned for the anchoring. First, let's see, I think we have enough fuel. I already counted that, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 2 burns. And now we anchor the Bernal as an operation. These gets decommissioned back to the hand. And yellow can place their Bernal here. And they can exomigrate. Now, because it's a cancer hospital, we place this red cross here to remind us that they can't attack this. No one can attack this Bernal. And when they exomigrate, they get this engineer. It's a white one, I think, or gray maybe. I'll look it up later. They don't have any cubes left over anyways. But maybe they, if is this gray? The colors in these, I mean, I'm colorblind, so the colors of the tokens and these colors are extremely difficult for me. I'm gonna say that this is green, so I could place a delegate in equality, which I would lose when the war starts, but right now that's not so bad in case I want to do some it's good to have delegates a little bit over the place if war breaks out to avoid restrictions. Okay, now both players have a home Bernal. Green is poised to fix an ET Bernal. Yellow has some good, I think they really want an M site to produce this gigawatt thruster and then promote it at their D site to get this awesome 9 thrust, 0 fuel consumption thruster. So, and green, they might industrialize more on Mars, but they also need other sites to really start producing good cards. I think next time we get an industrialization, there probably will be a war breakout. So I'll play a little bit without filming and get back to you later.